Drew,
Paul,
how are you?
good. I was just opening some packages that I got today.
Pack.
Yeah. Mostly ammunitions. Shipping
Okay.
explosives through the mail is
Hmm.
interesting.
Okay.
So, yeah, I've been working on my new rifle. I was actually knocked off work a little early today to go up to the range and kind of dial things in because we're going to be going out east this weekend to do some long range shooting.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. How did it
So,
go today?
good.
Good.
I had me and my friend went up last weekend, but there was a catastrophe because I had the wrong scope base and I
Oh.
couldn't properly calibrate my equipment. So we had to do some quick thinking and do some rejiggering of stuff. And long story short, everything's put back together. And I
Okay.
spent about 60 rounds up there this afternoon in the windy conditions, just making sure that everything is working. And I'm pretty sure I got it in a place where we'll have a good time. So everything's
Good.
good. Everything's good.
Good.
How are you?
Uh, I'm okay. I'm okay. Yeah.
Just okay.
Just okay. Just okay.
Is it have to
Nope.
do with anything of this next topic, or is there something else
No.
going on?
No. 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 I would love to talk about that topic though.
Okay, well let's
Okay.
go. What are we waiting for?
So last week we recorded on Friday. It's the day I got back from my little work thingy. Uh so also to make the story, I don't know, good. You have to know I have cats. I have
Uh-huh.
four cats.
Whoa.
And
Okay, time out.
okay,
I knew
four,
of the two
four cats.
cats.
I have four cats. I have four cats.
When did
We
you get the
we
other two?
a couple years ago, I think. They're
Okay.
they're a set of brothers. They're tuxedo cats. Uh
Well, I remember the kittens.
Yeah. So we had the kittens. Then we already had two cats before that. So
Oh, okay.
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 So sometimes, sometimes bugs get in the house,
Hmm.
and that usually drives the cats ape shit. It is also that time of year. Things are getting a little bit colder. Insects are trying to find warm places to not die. So, when I see a cat freaking out and chasing stuff around or in a window trying to jump at things, I don't think much of it. It's just like, oh, the cat's gonna get a bug, and it's not a big deal. It's gonna be a fly or something. So last Saturday, about a week ago from today, this happened. One of our cats was very adamantly going after a bug in one of our windows in our living room. We generally leave those windows open for sunlight. Also, like the cats like to sit in them and look outside and pretend that they're hunters. So I didn't think much of it. And about 15 minutes went by, and I'm like, wow, she is really going after that thing. I should probably go take a look. So I get to the window, I open it up, and it's a hornet. It's a hornet. Hornet in the house. So I go grab a appropriately whippy yet solid shoe, smack the hell out of it, and Hornet's dead. Don't think anything of it. About 20 minutes later, it happens again. By the time I've killed 6 hornets in the house,
Uh-oh.
I begin to think we have a hornet problem. Sure enough, so these windows in particular are on either side of a gas fireplace. So I walk outside, and sure as shit, the little part of the house that juts out because of the fireplace, in the top corner, one of the corners, there is just a shit ton of hornets. They're obviously making a nest in part of my house.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not a good place for them to be. So, we kind of think, well, like, we can go to the store and we can buy, hornet spray that you can shoot from like up to like 22 feet. It's amazing shit.
Oh yeah, no,
Yeah,
it's really good. Yeah.
So, and we talked about that. and my son happened to be home that weekend, and he brought up the concern of, well, they're already getting into the house somehow. If you spray them and piss them off, are they just going to swarm into the house? Which is a legitimate concern.
Meanwhile, your cats have their Vietnam helmets on and they're ready. They're ready to fight.
Yeah. And then, you start doing some Googling and generally, like, it's not good to be stung by a hornet, and it's really not bad. It's really not good for if a cat gets stung after they swallow said hornet. Whether it's in their mouth or their esophagus, they can swell. It could be a whole big thing. So we're trying to be diligent in killing the wasps as we detect them. So we just decided, or I decided, that, you know what, screw it. We can deal with it for the weekend. We can kill hornets. And on Monday, I will call a professional. So that is what I did. There was a local pest removal company in Grove City that did that. Not all of them do stinging insects. As I was learning, I was doing my research, which makes sense, right? You have to have special equipment, whatever. So I called, and this very nice lady's like, "Oh no, we can't have hornets, and we can get someone out tomorrow morning." So they came on Tuesday morning. It costs $250 to remove hornets from my house, but it's fine. I think all in all, that's a good bet. So the guy comes and he's like, "Yeah, we can take care of that for you." He's like, "Well, it's at this point, it's probably not worth putting a hole in your house. They just started making their nest. These hornets do this in the winter. They will find a place. They will make a small nest, jam it with full food and eggs. So this would be the next generation of hornets next spring." It's like, but what we can do is, like, basically he just went to town on that area. He sprayed some spray after he put on his bee fighting suit.
Oh,
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Modern day night.
Yep. And then all this powder stuff, he like basically shot this powder into the corner of my house. And he's like, "Okay, so what's going to happen is for about 1 to 2 hours, them hornets are going to be pissed." They're going to be buzzing around. They're going to be trying to figure out as they go through, and everybody in their hive is dying, and they're tracking in this poison, and it's killing all the eggs. They're going to be absolutely pissed. And after about a couple hours, you may see some hornets just kind of flying around, and then goes by like the end of the day, they'll be gone. He goes, "Give it a week, and then go up there, spray some like sealing foam in there to seal it off, and you'll be good as new." And sure as shit, exactly what happened is what happened. Those hornets were pissed. We kind of have like in part of our landscaping, we have like this little mini willow tree, and the hornets seemed to decided that was going to be where they're going to stage their next their next plans was in this willow tree. But that attracted an army of sparrows.
Oh.
And it was feeding frenzy time for them sparrows as they were dive bombing around. I watched a sparrow catch a hornet out of midair. It was pretty spectacular. And now I don't have any more hornets.
Huh.
Hornets are dead.
Mm-hmm. Well, so first of all, love that story. Because fuck those angry sky bugs.
Yes, I don't like them one bit. Yeah.
Like bees are okay. And there are actually some. So we had a similar issue on our front porch that I caught as it was starting to get bad. So have you ever heard of a mud dauber?
Yes. Yeah.
So basically that's some kind of species of hornet that basically just puts mud in a corner, and that's where they make their nest. I freaked the fuck out thinking that it was termites. It wasn't termites. It was that. And I had to like get up there and like get all the mud off of there, and they flew around and were angry, but they never attacked me. But we had a similar thing. Now, love that story for you. Glad you got a happy ending, but where's all the carcasses?
So basically what he was saying is, so most of them like fled the hive as it was dying. Like he basically said, like, "Hey, they've only been going at it for a couple of days. Like, he goes, at this time of year, the nests are, again, like they make an extremely small nest, just cram it full of food, lay eggs, and then die.
Mhm.
And it's gonna be the second one. He's like, it's not worth, like, at this point, like if it would have been like a couple of weeks, he said we may have to, like, pull off the siding and see what we can get, because it's going to be a really small nest. He's like, don't worry about it, because everything that this stuff kills all the eggs. He just said, hey, and generally speaking, hornets don't make nests twice in the same spot ever,
Huh.
which is interesting. But he said, just like give it a week just to be sure, and then get up there on the ladder and just seal it off. And he goes, you'll be fine. Like, the nest isn't going to hurt anything. So
Huh.
that's my plan. So
Okay.
yeah. So I may have like hundreds of hornet carcasses in my walls, but you know what? That's fine. There's probably worse things in my walls that I don't know about. So
I mean, free insulation if you really want to put a finer point on it.
So yeah.
Seems like pretty reasonable service. I mean, we have Orkin that we pay for month over month, and listen, I don't have a ton of bugs on the inside. Spiders. I mean, it's that time of year, like you said, where stuff's coming inside, and there's basically two times during the year where we have a lot of bugs in the house. The first one is in the spring when the ants start to emerge. So we'll have some ants that work their way into the house every spring. And, we either put down traps, or if I catch them early enough, I'll spray. If it's really bad, Orkin will come and they will put that like gel a few places that they have to like carry back to their nest. So so what happens is you still see ants for a few days, and then you start seeing dead ants for about a week, and then nothing.
No ants.
Yeah.
This is the best part of the. I forgot the best part of the story, Drew.
Okay.
I thought it was the best part of the story. So usually, the guy, he's gonna go put on his suit. He does this thing. He's like, "Hey, I'm gonna leave the front door unlocked. I work from home. I'll just be in the living room. If you need anything, whatever, just come on in. You don't have to knock. Just come in. I'm expecting you." So most of the time, when you hire somebody to do work, they will generally introduce themselves, talk about what they're going to do the thing, and then come back and say, "Hey, I did the thing. Everything should be good. Goodbye."
Yeah.
This dude introduced himself, did the thing, just got in his truck and drove away.
Yeah, classic Midwest exit, right? Just fucking, I'm out.
Yeah. I did see him, like, I watched him, like, he took everything off. He got in his truck. He did like pull out and sit in the street, and he watched. Like, he must have been like looking, because I could see him looking, like you see him on the doorbell camera. He must have been watching his handiwork for a while. I thought, yep, I done fucked them hornets up good.
He's probably the kind of guy where like bugs are his friends, right? He has more bug friends than human friends.
Yeah. But
yeah. So the other part, and the other part of the year that's kind of rough is when it's like really, really rainy. So we have these little tiny millipedes that kind of creep through our foundation.
Yuck.
Yeah.
Yuck.
Well, I didn't think they were millipedes, but they're just like these tiny little worms, and I never see them alive. That's the weirdest thing. I never see them alive. They're always curled up dead near my computers and my UPSs in my unfinished basement. They like crawl to where it's warm, and then they die. And like spiders get the rest. So those are really the only two times. Now, one thing I really like about having Orkin is they go around the whole outside of your house. They knock down cobwebs. They look for ant hills. They do a really good job outside. The one thing that they didn't catch is I had some bagworms on some of my trees near my deck. They fucking destroyed it. I looked out there one day and I was like, man, that tree's way browner than I remember. And I went out and looked at it, and sure enough, there were bagworms hanging on it. I'm like, fuck. Because I'm very familiar with what a bagworm can do to trees. They were really bad where I grew up one summer where, everybody lost a whole bunch of trees in their yard. So I had to have an arborist come out and treat the ones that were still alive that were starting to get infested. And some of them are like half eaten. He said that they should recover, but yeah, I lost a few of them. And they were really nice arborvitaes too, that really provided a degree of shade to the deck. So that was kind of shitty.
Okay. Yeah. That's too bad.
Huh. Okay. So this next thing, Paul, we are keyboard snobs, are we not?
I know people who are snobbier. But yeah, I like a good
Huh.
mechanical keyboard. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think
Hmm.
that's fair. Like,
Hmm.
if you put a $3,000 keyboard in front of me and like a $200 keyboard in front of me, I probably couldn't tell the difference, but I could sure as shit tell the difference between like a $20 keyboard and a $200 keyboard.
Oh yeah, 100%, 100%.
100%.
Hmm.
So this crossed my inbox this week. So our
Yeah.
good friends at Keychron, which I think
Hmm.
we both are pretty positive on.
Yeah, I'm using a Keychron keyboard right now.
Yeah,
I have multiple. Yeah.
I have one within arm's reach right now that I use for my Mac Mini.
Mhm.
And then I've owned a couple other Keychrons before. So Keychron, and we'll put a link to this in the show notes, is currently doing a Kickstarter, which
Mhm.
is overly funded at this point. So it looks like
Oh,
it's good.
yeah.
It
Yeah.
looks like it's going to go. It is the Keychron Q16
Mhm.
HE8K. Now, there's a
Mhm.
lot in there,
Mhm.
but the headline is World's First Fully Ceramic Keyboard.
Yes, it's made entirely of ceramic. The base and the keycaps are all
Yes.
ceramic.
Yep. Yep.
So the first thing I noticed about this, Drew, especially like in the videos around this,
Mm-hmm.
it's so fucking shiny.
It really is. It really is. And I'll tell you something. That actually is kind of a benefit because
Okay.
human filth builds up on
Oh
stuff
yeah,
over
keyboards
time
are gross.
and things become discolored and like our oil kind of seeps into plastic and over time keyboards kind of get shiny.
Mhm.
I wonder if these surfaces are a little more filth resistant even though it's shiny.
Maybe. I don't know. Could
I
be.
haven't read anything about that. That's just a hunch. But yes, it is very shiny
Yes.
because it's ceramic and apparently it's heavy.
I would imagine. Yeah. Yeah.
Now, my current keyboard that's hooked up to my PC, which I'm talking on right now,
Mm.
it has I guess it's a steel base and it's got some heft.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
this might be even heavier.
I would imagine it is much heavier. I wonder if there's got to be like a spec or something that tells you how much it weighs. Uh how much switches do you use? So also, if you didn't notice, the HE in the name stands for Hall effect. So they're
Yes.
magnetic switches. Yes.
Well,
Wh-
hold on. Hold on.
Okay.
So there's a chart on this page, and this is what I wanted to ask you about. So
Okay.
there's a chart about it's in the top third of the Kickstarter description, and it says
Okay.
why the Q16 HE8 key stands apart. And it's
Okay.
basically a little comparison chart where it's like it's got general magnetic keyboard, it's got general mechanical keyboard, and then it has the new one. And the very first line is switch type. Now, the general magnetic keyboard says Hall effect magnetic. The switch type on this says next gen magnetic.
Hmm.
And then it talks about the certain sensor that it used. And it is clearly not Hall effect, which
But
gave
they are
me
magnetic switches, though, right?
they are magnetic
Okay.
switches.
Okay.
So I was ready to buy this.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure Hall effect magnetic switches are perfectly cromulent. I don't know why they think they need to reinvent a magnetic switch.
Hmm.
That's the only thing that makes me nervous because I mean, it's $218 to back
It
this thing,
is. Mm-hmm.
or $219, and they'll ship in December. So I was very close to ordering this because it
Mm-hmm.
definitely looks like something that I would enjoy. I don't own a magnetic switch keyboard, so this would be my first. I don't know if you
Yeah,
currently do.
I do not, but I am interested. But I have become see this keyboard was not even on the table for me to consider,
Really?
and that is because I have grown to love Alice layout
Oh,
keyboards.
that's right. That's right. You're a weirdo.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yes,
they don't make that they don't make a ceramic version of that yet.
if they did, I'd probably order it.
Okay. I will say that having watched the videos and looked at the pictures, I really like the look of that gray.
You should, yeah, yeah. You should buy one, Drew.
I should buy one.
You should
I
buy
should buy
one.
one.
You should buy one. for the show.
A Keychron silicone palm rest and a Keychron coiled aviator cable. So for
Now,
$257, there's a pretty nice bundle.
have you used the Keychron launcher webpage recently?
No.
Okay, so I don't know if you know about this site or not. So
Give me a link. Give me a link. Give me a link. Give me a link.
okay. So they used to use well, I guess they still do. They use VIA as kind of their firmware for hold on. Link coming in. I guess you don't need that extra thing. So they still use VIA, but what they did is they kind of forked it and they made their own web page. So you have to use like something like Chrome that supports USB devices. As long as your Keychron keyboard is plugged in, you can go to it, and it's a great website for like you can set up macros, you can set up what the different layers do, you can remap keys, and for all your RGB nerds, they just launched a feature where now you can get down to per key RGB light control. So they've been really improving this this website. If you obviously you have to have a Keychron keyboard, and I think it has to be attached by a cable, but it does a really good job of you can update your firmware from there, you can test keys, any setting that you can control. It's a great website. So I mean, Keychron keeps investing in keyboards, so I think you could do a lot worse than back in this. And
oh no, 100%. Like this isn't like some fly by night thing.
Yeah.
This doesn't have any LED, which isn't a deal breaker for me.
Oh, okay, so it's LED.
Oh no, wait a minute.
less.
No, north facing RGB backlight.
Okay, so it does. Yeah.
Choose from 22 dynamic effects to create your own. Assign a unique keyword color to every key. Oh, well, fuck. Okay, yeah, this is getting bought. This is probably getting bought. I didn't even say. I must have skimmed right over that part of this page.
There you go.
Let's see what the comments are saying. Yeah, no, I mean everybody seems pretty hype. So I guess the only question is like, which one should I back? There's a Halloween special, and a silicone palm rest for $229.
Okay.
Yeah, I want the coiled cable though.
Yeah.
So that's an extra like $40, like an extra $38.
Okay.
5 left of 490. Ugh. It's gonna make me do it. It's gonna make me do it right now.
Do it.
No,
spend money.
No, I've been spending too much money.
Oh, me too, buddy. Me too.
Yeah,
I gotta go on a break.
Yeah, I feel like you could have gone on a break a little bit ago. So the next two topics are going to be a little bit of a Paulathon, because you're a big handheld gamer, and you bought some stuff.
I did. All
right.
Where do you want to start?
I want to go in order.
Okay. So last week I did a little teaser. I received my 1X Sugar transformable dual screen Android handheld device. Now, I'm going to preface this by saying that while I have used this device, I've mostly been playing Ghost of Yotei.
Really? That's your kind of game?
Oh yeah, Ghost of Tsushima was amazing. This game is even better. So I have not had a lot of time. I have not spent a lot of time doing retro games or playing on my handheld, but I did set up enough to test out 2DS and 3DS games on the 1X Sugar.
Okay.
So first of all, it's nice. The hinges feel good. It's got magnets, so everything snaps together. It totally does everything it said it would. When you close the screen, it turns. When you fold in the bottom screen, it turns it off. It automatically detects rotation and changes like what the buttons do, so you don't have to worry about any of that. So like if you flip it over, and suddenly your A button is on the bottom, and it works exactly how you hope it would work. I have installed some emulators on here. Obviously, the ones everyone wants to talk about. I installed Drastic for yeah, Drastic for 2DS or just Nintendo DS emulation, and Citra MMJ for 3DS emulation. Okay. So, not to bury the lead, it works. And it
Okay.
works well, performance wise. Getting it to work is a lot.
Okay.
So, we are just starting this if you're into the handheld device scene like I am, there are a lot of dual screen devices hitting the market now.
Okay.
And it is interesting because they are really shipping before the software is there to really support them, which I get, right? If there's not dual screen devices, emulator, developers aren't going to start adding support for emulator for dual screen devices.
Mm-hmm.
And just honestly, dual screen on Android in general, it's just kind of wonky. It's just kind of wonky. So for these two emulators, I had two different experiences. For Drastic, which is the Nintendo DS emulator, it worked basically out of the box. Well, not out of. You had to go into this deep into the advanced settings, and then and basically it's like, oh, you have an external screen. Would you like to use that? Because that's really what it treats it as, right? You have your main screen, and then the little one is an external monitor,
Uh-huh.
essentially. Drastic will detect that, and you can basically say like, hey, set it up so the top screen's on the top and the bottom screen's on the bottom, and it just worked. Okay. Citra MMJ, which is what I'm using for 3DS emulation, no such luck. I read articles, I watched videos of people setting things up, and I could just not get it to work. But then the fine folks at 1X sent me an email, and they're like, "Hey, people are getting devices. Here's an email about some special stuff that we did that you may not have noticed." So
Uh-oh.
that actually worked out really well. So what they have, let me see if I can find what it's called. It's called the the Sugar Console. Okay. And basically what the Sugar Console does is you can change some stuff. You can force screens on or off. You can change the like resolution if you want. But what it also does is it's got this mode called Fusion. And this is what saved 3DS emulation for me. So what Fusion does is it lies to Android. Okay?
Uh-huh.
Okay. And it says, I don't have two screens. I have one really wide screen.
Ah.
So essentially what it does is it puts the small screen essentially to the right of the big screen. And this would allowed me to go into Citra and basically say, use a custom layout. So what the custom layout allows you to do is allows you to basically, it puts both of the screens on the window. You can reside them. You can put them anywhere you want. So I was able to take the small screen and move it all the way to the right, which put it on the bottom screen. And then set up all the resolutions and dragged them up so it filled the whole screen and I wasn't like stretching or anything. And once I did that, it works great. Not only that, uh do you see the warning on the page?
What warning?
Look at the web. Do you see the warning? I have a warning basically saying critical chunks of Drew's recording could not be uploaded. The
Oh
resulting
no.
recording will not be complete. You're supposed to
Wait.
check your resources and reload the page.
Uh oh wait. Critical error in recording, chunk upload error. Does that okay?
Yeah.
Did it recover?
I don't know. The error went away. So maybe.
Uploaded 352 of 352 chunks. Like
okay, good.
Daddy's Daddy's chunks.
Got
Yeah.
all Daddy's chunks.
Yeah. Okay.
So basically, once I figured out Fusion mode, everything was great. 3DS games, I think I'm like I'm like doubling the resolution, so I'm up-resing them. They play great. The touchscreen works great. It works exactly. I play a little bit of the
Uh-oh. Paul? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Where did Paul go? Critical error and recording chunk. Oh no. What's up with this website? Uh uh uh-oh. Time to get out my phone. Uh-oh. Okay, hold on. Gonna text Paul. I'm still in the call. Are you? Question mark. Are you? Question mark. Okay, little things are happening. Nope, working on it. Okay. Oh, it's Paul.
I'm back.
Okay. What? Whoa,
I,
my
I,
goodness. We're.
I had a critical error and it could not,
Oh.
and then it basically gave me the error message equivalent of two middle fingers, and then it took me a while to actually reload the page and rejoin. So
Okay.
uh,
I'm leaving all my vamping in. We're gonna leave it in.
okay, uh, yeah, okay. To summarize everything, it's a lot like the Retroid Pocket 5. If you can get past the androidness of all of this and spend the time and get it all set up and install your apps and configure them all correctly, it does do what it advertises. It does do 2DS and 3DS emulation extremely well. But
Huh.
the androidness of it is a lot. So this has to be something you are really, really
Hoping to
into.
use.
Yes, yeah. Uh so the only thing that is kind of weird about the hardware is, so obviously depending on the orientation, like the buttons are either face buttons or like action buttons depending on which the orientation is. So it comes with this little magnetic D-pad that you can put over top of the ones that's going to be the D-pad, and it works. It does work. It is a little, I don't know if you can hear this.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah. It is very noisy to move the D-pad because you have these little like little tabs pushing down and the magnet is like rocking back and forth. Uh it's fine. It does work. Uh but now there's like other what is it? There's other devices coming out in the dual screen. So there's this I'm not sure this is powerful enough to do like 3DS, but there's things like the An Thor that is out. Let me drop a link in there. And this is a $250 dual screen Android device. Uh, but
Okay.
all in all, the one extra. Okay. There is one problem with this device,
Okay.
and it's a big one. It is not very comfortable to hold.
Is it heavy?
It is heavy, and when you have it in the dual screen layout, there is so dual screen layout. You have the big screen on top, you have the little screen in the middle, and then you have the controls on each side.
Uh-huh.
The controls are thicker than the screen, so it
Controls are
creates
thicker than the screen.
yes. So like if you look at the back where you would hold it, the controls are maybe an inch thick and the screen is maybe a half an inch thick. So what it is, you have this little spot where like your fingers curl around into like this big like valley. And I don't know, I just now have found a way. Like I can play it for about maybe an hour before my fingers start cramping up pretty bad and I have to stop. Uh which an hour is a pretty good time to play some retro games, right? It's not like it's unplayable, but it does get to be uncomfortable. Yes, it is a little heavy. It is especially a little top heavy because that's where most of the guts are in that top screen. So it weighs more on the top than it does on the bottom, or at least it feels like it does. So as I'm trying to balance it on my finger, it actually seems like the bottom is more heavy. it feels heavy. It's awkward to hold. When you put it like in single screen mode, all those problems go away. It's just a very boxy but perfectly serviceable one screened handheld. No issues there, but uh I don't it's I am glad that I own this. I am looking forward to putting in some time and playing some 3DS games on here, maybe picking a couple to beat, but it is not a perfect device
Hmm.
by any stretch of the imagination. It is to get what they to achieve what they did, there are compromises aplenty.
So I gotta ask you,
Mm-hmm.
am I sensing a little regret?
Uh no, I don't think not necessarily regret because I am going to use it. I am going to keep it, but it's not. It's gimmicky, is what it is. It's gimmicky, and
Okay.
that's okay. I like a gimmick. I like a gimmick. I especially love me a band with a gimmick. But uh, it's fine. It's fine, is what it is. It's fine.
Okay.
It's good. Maybe fine plus plus. It
Fine
does
plus plus.
it does work. It does work. And if I get some time and I play some more games in it, I will come back with a more detailed review. But as far as getting those dual screen devices emulators up and working, it does work. It just takes more time. It's the experience is far from polished, just far. Now, I do know that there are some other emulators coming out with dual screen stuff, so I kind of need to dip my toe back into some of the subreddits and figure out what those are. Maybe I'll try some of those as well. But like if you have the time and you have the patience and the desire, you can get dual screen Nintendo DS, 3DS emulation working on this. And once you do, it does run extremely well. So, yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Now the one that I'm really interested in.
Okay. So, I just got this today, literally today.
Okay.
So, we talked in the past about the Asus ROG Xbox Ally X. And when we left this, as far as the podcast goes, I said I was going to get one.
Uh-huh.
I watched some previews, I watched some YouTube videos, and then I was very much on the fence. And I decided, you know what, Paul? I'm not going to pre-order it. I'm going to wait till reviewers get theirs. Maybe I'll order it, maybe I won't. So like if I get it, I'm not going to be in a rush. If I get it in December, that's fine. So I think around Wednesday, the first influencers got their hands on this device, and I will have to say, the reviews were extremely mixed. Extremely mixed.
Yep.
Some places loved it. Some places thought saw there's potential here, but the software just isn't there yet. The previous ROG Ally X uses the AMD Z1 Extreme. The Xbox Ally X uses the second generation of that. The performance gains are there, but they're not huge. Apparently, the Z3, when they really changed the architecture, whereas performance is going to be good, like a really noticeable change. So I kept thinking about it, and I kept thinking about it, and I was really on the fence. In fact, I don't know if you there was one point in here where this literally said Paul did not buy an Asus ROG Xbox Ally X until I did.
Right.
So I went on to Best Buy. That's one of the places you can buy it, and they were like, "Hey, we still got some. You can have it tomorrow. Do you want it tomorrow?" And I was like, "Fuck it, let's try it." Because I can always return it. There's Best Buy close to me. I can always put it back in there and say, this isn't for me, return it, get my money back. So I bought it as kind of a experiment. to see if I would like it or not, to see if it justified keeping this over my original ROG Ally X. God, these names are so fucking
They're
bad.
really fucking bad.
So I got the Xbox Ally X today.
Mm-hmm.
I turned it on, got it set up, went through all the Windows bullshit, uninstalled OneDrive, shit like
Uh-huh.
that. Shit like that.
Yeah.
I don't need. I know I don't need a Microsoft 365. I did install a few games on there, and I did spend a little time after dinner playing the games.
Okay.
So this is a very, very high level, early on Paul's first impressions.
Okay.
First, those stupid little wings of the controller shaped part of it
Yep.
do make it so much more comfortable to hold.
Okay.
It
Makes
is
sense.
it is extremely comfortable. Even though it weighs a little bit more than the previous one, it just feels lighter because it's easier to hold.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Second, performance is pretty much what I would expect. So, uh, so TDPs are very important in handheld gaming. It's like thermal device power. What's the maximum amount of watts you're going to allow your device to suck down?
Right.
Generally speaking,
Oh, Paul, you're gonna talk to me about temperatures. I love this.
okay. So generally speaking, you can get and customize stuff, but for the Asus ROG Ally, there's essentially 3 levels. There's 13 watts, which they call silent. And 17 watt, which they call performance, and 25 watt, which goes up to 30 watts if it's plugged in, which they call turbo. Generally speaking, taking the game and doing it on the same settings, I can get the same performance at 17 watts on this device that I got at 25 watts on my older one.
Okay.
Right? So essentially, I can get the same performance with less watts, and the battery will last longer. Or if I wanted to go through and tweak stuff, I probably can get the display settings up quite a bit and run it at 25 watts. So there is a noticeable, it's not huge. It's not night and day, right? It's not like I'm getting like twice as many frames or anything, but I'm able to get roughly the same performance for much less energy or battery use, which keeps the
Okay.
fans quieter, it keeps it cooler, lets me play longer. So that is encouraging. Uh Now I want to talk about the Xbox full screen experience, Drew.
What is that?
This is the first device that ships with Microsoft's SteamOS inspired thing. It does
Okay.
not boot into Windows. It boots into the Xbox full screen experience. This is Windows with a whole bunch of subsystems turned off. You don't get to the desktop. There's no start menu. You're very limited in what you can do. Now you can get to the desktop, right? You can basically say, fuck all of this, boot me into Windows. Though you do have to reboot it to get it back into like the lightweight mode. And this is the mode that Microsoft says, like, hey, like Windows uses about 20% less resources than normal Windows. And that seems to be roughly true, even though it's hard to compare because my other ROG Ally X only runs Bazite and SteamOS. I don't have Windows on there anymore at all. I think in about a year, if Microsoft keeps working on this, this could be something that is pleasant to use. It is
Okay.
just not there today. It's fine. It works, but like, so the ROG Ally, the original one, shipped with this piece of software called Armory Crate. And that was
Yeah.
their, okay. You still have Armory Crate in there. and you still need it to do device specific things. Like if you want to change where your RGB is, that's an Armory crate. You want to change your TDPs, that's an Armory crate. You want to turn on some AMD features like super resolution, that's an Armory crate. So you have to use this combination of like the new updated Xbox game bar interface and Armory crate to get things to do. And like a lot of the buttons on it like do almost the same thing, because there's like the Xbox button which opens up the Xbox bar. There's an Armory crate button that opens up Armory crate, but that turns out that's also a tab in the game bar. And then there's a library button which opens up the game bar to the library tab. If you push and hold the Xbox button, you get like this task switcher interface, which does work pretty well. Uh, it, it's serviceable. I do think there's potential there. But I just think maybe it's 6 months, maybe it's 2 months, maybe it's just one update away. But I think this Xbox full screen experience could be good, but right now it is mediocre, and I can see a lot of like quote unquote casuals not bouncing off of it and going back to Steam OS, which is just a much more polished, easy to use, easier to understand interface for accessing that stuff.
So do you think most of the blame is on Microsoft there, right?
I think so. I mean, I get it. Like their whole gaming division is like on fire. And they really feel that they needed to come out with something that was like competitive with Steam OS and Valve and the Steam Deck. So I get them building this. I get them even rushing it to market a little bit. I'm sure it was Asus really wanted to get this device out before the holidays, and Microsoft had a schedule they had to hit, so they had to cut features and ship things that they knew didn't work well. And like hopefully there's going to be Windows updates. Okay, that's just okay. Here's installing Windows updates is a big part of being a Windows user, especially when you get a new device, because you know there's going to be hundreds of updates just waiting for it to be installed.
Well, but be fair.
Mm-hmm.
There's Windows updates.
Mm-hmm.
There's driver updates.
Yes.
There's firmware updates.
Yes.
There's all sorts of updates.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yep. Okay. Yep. So I did have to like go 4 places to get all my updates done: the Microsoft Store, the My Asus app, Armory Crate, and Windows Update.
Okay.
To get to Windows Update, that is not a feature that's in that. Like it kind of is, but it's buried. So you have to click on the game bar. Let me just turn this on so I can make this. Okay, so I push the Xbox button to bring up the game bar. I hit the right bumper to go to, or nope, I use the D-pad to go over to settings and select it. Then I have to scroll all the way to the bottom of the settings panel and click on more settings. And then that opens up another submenu, which I have to go all the way to the bottom of. And then I can say open Windows settings. And then from there, it opens up the settings app like Windows. And then you have to make sure that you have to go into Armory Crate and you have to say, hey, I'm no longer in an app that really supports console input. Please turn on the mouse so I can drive the mouse. And then you can go to there and then click on Windows Update and then go. But since you're in the Xbox full screen experience, there is no close menu. There is no like X to close the app when you're done. So you have to push and hold the Xbox button to bring up the task switcher and then press the X button to close it on like the actual X button. And I just did that. That did not work. It did not actually close it. It's just, That's a cute bug. That's adorable. There we go. I got it. I finally got it to quit. So, and there is no way to see how much drive space you have left without going into desktop mode and opening up File Explorer. So there's just little things that just aren't there yet, right? So it works. I'm gonna really try to spend some time with it this weekend. Maybe play some Diablo.
I heard they're making a bunch of changes again.
They are. Season 11 looks like it's going to be. I had a really fun time with season 10. Probably like one of the best times I had with Diablo since like the launch or like maybe like season 4. But season 11 does look really good. So yes, I'm still I'm one of those people. I new season comes out of Diablo. I play it a lot. I get to where I want, where I've unlocked the unlockables I've wanted to want. I got my character to I get to like Torment 3. I don't do Torment 4 because I like myself. And eventually I get to a point where like I believe I have experienced that season to its fullest, and then I stop playing. The build that I have for season 10, I use the build guide this season. I don't always do that. It's just bonkers. You basically like you just evade and things die. Like it's amazing.
So getting back on topic real quick. Sorry.
Mm-hmm. Yep,
so Paul,
mm-hmm.
I've been kind of keeping an eye on this handheld because it looks powerful. You and I have talked about it before. I was, just kind of keeping an eye on it. Like you said, I watched a couple of the reviews and I've seen some Reddit posts where there's been some dubious build quality issues that have come up.
Yeah, mine is fine. It's in perfect condition. I have no issue with any of the triggers or the screen. But I have seen some of those with like it just comes in and like it looks like smushed on one side.
Yeah, or like the triggers don't. They just collapse.
Yep.
So I'll take this time to point out, Paul, that we have some recurring themes on this podcast. Do we not?
We do. Do
you know what segment we haven't had in a while?
Drew's Computer Corner?
We really haven't.
Okay.
We really haven't. And part of that is because I have not felt compelled to jump in on any new hardware trends, primarily because as somebody who has been building computers for the better part of 25, 26, maybe even 30. How old am I? Yeah, probably close to 30 years now building my own computers, if you count like the time that I would help my grandfather when he would have like Heath kits and stuff. I was a long time Asus boy. Like it was them versus everybody when it came to components, whether it was motherboards or graphics cards, basically anything that went in your computer that wasn't the processor or the memory. Like Asus made really good stuff. And over the past 5 years, there's been a noticeable downturn in quality that they've put out. You hit on the Armory Crate thing. Like that's been very, very annoying because it's actually a BIOS setting, or I guess it's not technically BIOS anymore, but it's a UEFI firmware setting that you can like disable it so it doesn't bug you anymore. That's how ingrained it is in the ecosystem. There's been a rash of support issues. Look, I will take any opportunity to point people at the Gamers Nexus YouTube channel. I think Steve is a man of the people. I don't know if you've been watching recently, but companies are fighting back. Gamers Nexus.
I did catch some of that.
Because they're on a roll. They do some hard hitting investigative stuff. Like it's really refreshing to go to their subreddit because
wasn't he like tracking like illegal exports of like GPU? Okay, that's right. Yeah.
But it's interesting. He doesn't necessarily do it for clout. I mean, he really has, and actually him and his staff, even though he's kind of the face of the company, really has consumer sentiment first. And hats off to them. Like that's where I read the majority of my hardware reviews, hardware roundups. Like they do such a good job. And they have several documented instances over the past year alone where Asus just isn't a good company anymore.
Yeah.
And I look at my computer right now and I'm playing every game that I want to play, including Battlefield 6. I am getting great frame rates. My temperatures are good. There's been problems with the 5090 cards that have launched, and I'm running a 4090, so there's no really reason for me to go out and spend $2,500 on a new card for marginal gains. I have not been compelled to upgrade, and no small part of that is Asus is kind of garbage,
Yeah.
and yet I can't really look at alternatives. The closest alternative that I think I would consider would be Gigabyte. I've owned some Gigabyte motherboards and they've been fine. I don't like their firmware all that much. I think it's not as well done as other brands. But in terms of stability and features and
Yeah.
IO and stuff
Yeah.
like that, it's been good. So that's part of the reason we really haven't done a Drew's computer corner. And I look at these devices they put out, and it's just like that's kind of my holdup. Like I don't want to give Asus my money right now.
Yeah. Well, I did. I gave him another $1,000 or
Yeah.
less than that because people were taking money off the top. But and again, there is. I would say right now there's a coin flip whether this gets returned by the end of next week or not. So we'll see.
Interesting.
We'll
Okay.
see. We'll see. I have not committed. I have committed to giving it a fair shake.
Okay.
So we'll see how it goes. Catch me next week and we'll see. But then again, also like Ghost of Utah is so fucking good. I wish I was playing it right now.
Is that game hard? Is it a Souls like, or is it more just like an action RPG?
I would say it's more akin to a typical action RPG. It may be just a little bit harder, but it's fair. It's fair. And I don't. Did you play the first one?
No.
Okay. The first one had this basic thing where like you were a samurai gone bad. You just had a katana, and basically you had different stances, and certain stances were good against different opponents who had different weapon types. This game expands that greatly. You have 5 different weapon types, a whole bunch of other like ranged and throwable weapons, and the weapon types are more effective against certain types than others, but opponents will change weapons. So you really do have to like pay attention, make sure you're using the right weapon, make sure you're switching weapons. It's one of those games like if you get hit a couple of times, you're probably dead. So you almost like you really have to strive for near perfection in combat. Being surrounded is extremely deadly. Oh, this game moves the timeline up, so there are firearms.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
so like there's like muzzle loaded muskets and pistols, and those, while they are slow to reload, they fuck you up. So yeah, but it's fun. The story is good. I think the story is actually better than the previous one. There's a female lead, which pissed a bunch of people off because
Oh
she's not
yeah,
quote
gamer
unquote
capital. Yeah.
attractive. Uh
Yeah. Gamers.
uh but the story is, I think, really good. There's already been a couple of like interesting twists that I didn't see coming up to like right at the very right before they happened. It's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. They they have like Sucker Punch does a really good job using PlayStation hardware. Obviously, I have a PlayStation Pro. One of the options they have is what they call it's like ray trace performance mode, which renders the game is rendered at 1080p upscaled to 4K with full ray tracing on at 60 frames a second, and the game is absolutely stunning. It is just so fucking beautiful. So yeah, I mean, give it a couple of years, it'll be out for the PC. But it is great. I'm enjoying this game so much. I put about 28 hours into it already. So, mm-hmm.
Cool.
Yep.
Well, it sounds like we may have a topic next week if you decide to return this.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. We'll follow up. We'll follow up and let you know where I'm at. So
yeah, I say that we're not going to have a Drew's computer corner, but I am kicking around
There it is.
some changes. No,
Yeah.
it's if I told you what I was thinking, I don't. I think you would laugh so hard you would crash the podcast.
Well, save it for next week then.
Okay. All right. Well, let's get out of here.